We have some breaking news. XRP has pushed over 38 cents here, and we got to talk about the lack of volume that's coming on this push up. We have a very key level here at about the 377 level. It's been a nice level of support resistance that we've talked about, and now it just happens to be the cup and handle resistance here. So XRP was at 0.3802 at the time that I started recording this, but it looked like it was going to continue to come down, and it should be retesting around the 377 level to see if we have any strength whatsoever. My biggest problem looking at this in the 30-minute time frame is, yes, we've had a bullish cross where the 20 crosses the 50, or a golden cross, some might want to call it. Even though I like to call the golden cross when the 20 would cross the 200 in the bullish direction. I think that's the correct definition. I think right now we've had a cross, but not a golden cross. We had a bullish cross. But the golden cross is technically where people could call it a bullish divergence when the 20 crosses the 200. So that's for another time. But for right now, XRP does have the bullish cross here on the 30-minute time frame. And we've made a heck of a pull up here, as now we're up over 3% on the day after completely reversing from the breakdown under 36 cents. But we need to take a look at the volume profiles. It's very low, and we're still well within this falling channel. So we just need to pay attention to the pattern because it'll guide us through the next step and through our next part of the position. Like I talked about when it dumped down, it was in your best interest to buy, even if you only wanted to buy 2%. It was a good time to buy. It was a great time to start getting into your position because XRP was sub 36 cents. Now we're back up to 38 cents. Bitcoin's up about 104 points on the day as it's at 22,347. So that's what we're looking at right now. So make sure you hit that like button as it greatly helps push me through the analytics. But we've really got to get into the XRP technical analysis. Take a look at this volume and why I'm a little bit nervous about this push up right before the weekend. And also, pay attention to the news that Ripple did do something on behalf of themselves. They filed a letter stating, on behalf of support for their own fair notice defense. And it's because of something that happened with the Supreme Court where they overturned another verdict, and it is a complete contradiction for the fair notice defense. So it actually helps XRP or Ripple, and they're using it on their behalf. I think something deeper is going on, but I still believe it's going to take quite some time for this case to end, but I'm sure we're going to get a lot of settlement talk. Don't get caught up in it. Just stay with the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Stay here. Make sure to hit that like button, and we'll get into the charts right now because it's very urgent. After the intro, that is. Good evening. 6:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, March 3rd, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. As you can see, XRP's up 0.27%, up to 0.3781. I told you we'd be moving back around that 0.377, even though it was at 3802 approximately when I started recording. I knew in a couple minutes it would be down. That's why I said it should be around the 377 level, because it was pushing back down towards there in the 30-minute time frame. So let's not even mess around here. As I talked about on the open 30-minute time frame, let's take out our drawing tool. This is what I was talking about. We've had a bullish cross here, but remember, this is a short time frame. We had a nice dump down, pull up. We talked about how it looked like it created a small bull flag by design here. A lot of times they pull down, it looks like a bear flag on the fall down, but it actually creates a small bull flag, and it breaks up, not necessarily out, but this is the cup and handle. So now if we can hold 377, now we can come up to 3851, and ultimately something I've talked about a couple days ago, we haven't retested yet, and if we do break out and come up this direction, we could theoretically break up and try to retest this area up here at around 39 cents. That's what I would anticipate, especially if we can break and hold 377. We'll know a lot more here in the very short term if we do lose the 377. Now, all these levels are support and pivot levels, but they do get a little messy here because you really don't need all of them. It's just a point of reference. So like if it was me, I would take out the 362, I would take out the 369, and I would leave it 377 and the 352. Like this is a nice range. It's a very nice range. And then we can even take this out. We'll keep that in the 385 just because that's over the top resistance. I know some of these other numbers matter, but right now we really 377 is the big dog. If we lose 377, we're coming back down. So that's the way I'm looking at this right now. So I'm trying to keep it from being a little hard to read on the charts. Now this is the falling channel, so the falling channel resistance still, if you got a rejection, would be right here about 39 cents, 391 approximately. And then down here on the support side, it's all the way down at about the 344 level now. So the falling channel's been holding strong. And the pivot level, the very strong pivot level is at 3851. That's another reason why I'm not going to get rid of it. That's my own personal pivot level. And once we lost that, we had major drops. And every time we hold it, we seem to have a nice little pump up. So that's what we're looking at right now. If we take a look on the not so cluttered chart, the XRP USD chart here, we're going to take a look at the volume profile in this chart because it's easier to see. So if we look at this we'll go even in the 2 hour, you can see how volume's decreasing. It's very bearish when you have a price divergence with the volume. So basically what's going on here is you've got, so let me get this drawing tool back out. So you've got increase in the price, but you got the volume down here, as you can see. That is a decrease. This is clearly decreasing there. So you got falling volume, rising price. Once we hit our target, which could even be up here at 39 cents, this is going to be a reversal. This volume is telling a story. This is very bearish. That's a very bearish volume portfolio. We have decreasing volume on a price. So basically, this is a divergence when you look at, and we're not even going to go into that. We're just going to talk about how this is bad. So basically, we've got decreasing volume while the price action is increasing. It's not supporting the move up. We had a much greater volume on the breakdown than we do on the push up, and we're pushing up with relatively no volume. And what I mean by that is, let's take a look right now. We'll break this down into each 30-minute candle because I believe this is very important at these moments. So right now we have 703,000 in this 30-minute candle with about 3 minutes left. On the push up, we had 328. So you can see this is the blow off the top and then most of the push back down. We've got 594, 523, 400, 796. But on the dump down, and this is the difference, 2.21 million, 8.64 million on the dump down, ladies and gentlemen. So there was a lot more volume on the push down. Now on the push up, the most we could even max up, even if we say there's some pull down volume, 765,000. That's not even 1/10 the volume we had on this push down candle. That's what we're talking about here. This is a big divergence here. Now, could we have some volume coming over the weekend and it's thinly traded? Sure, we could. But right now, until we break a falling channel, or in this case, the descending triangle resistance on this at 40 cents, we got nothing more to talk about. That's our room right now. You break above that, if you look at it in the bigger scale, you've got up here at 44 cents. And this is the grand pattern. So this is the one we need to look at if we're not looking micromanaging. This is if we're looking at it more out of a micro level. So if we break out of this uptrend right here, this is the 2020 uptrend that goes back to, I mean, we can go way back there, but it's mid-2020. And then we got the downtrending resistance here that started in May 2022. So now if we break out of this small part we're in right here with the downtrending resistance that started in January 25th, in this small little function right here. If we break out of this, our next level would be up here at the 44 cents. Now, if we lose this uptrend, which is the scary part, if we lose the 338 approximately, then you got to come down to the 2017 uptrend. I'm going to continue to talk about this. It's approximately 18.9. And then if you lose that, you come down to the all-time uptrend, which started in 2013. And that's right around the 018 level, 002 I always talk about. But that's what I'm looking at. But if we do this properly, I see a big breakout coming. And this would be in 2025. And everybody bragged me in 2021 when I said this. But you know what? I can't worry about what everybody says. But yeah, that pushes you out into 2025 at some point. So that's just what I believe. I believe that's how it's going to work. Unless we get some kind of clarity here. But once that happens, I think we can have monumental moves. And then once we get a nice pullback, not a huge one, we're going to skyrocket. But that doesn't mean it can't happen first, and that's why I'm also building sub 40 cents. I keep telling everybody, build sub 40 cents, pay attention, and don't get caught up in the moments. We waited from $1.66 when we sold for these moments sub 40 cents. It's your job, even if you do 2% of your portfolio to get a stake in the game, to do it now. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. You buy it sub 40 cents to the bottom. That doesn't mean you don't buy it sub 40 cents. That means you have a plan, a collective plan. We have levels of buy-ins. Your goal is to get more shares than you wanted before we even get sub 20 cents. And then when we go sub 20 cents, you can drop the hammer, and then your averages can figure themselves out and be in the less than 30, or even some people have them greater than sub 25 cent averages. So that's what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to hit that like button. If you got anything out of this update, make sure you hit the subscribe button, as we went over 15,600 subscribers. And if you want to buy XRP in the USA, I've got 3 options for you. 1, MEXC, no VPN, and you get buy and sell XRP or any crypto with no spot fees. Or you can use BITGET, but you need a VPN in the USA if you're a new user. But that's also no spot fees on the buy and sell. And then UPHOLD, they just have higher spot fees. But that's all in the video description below or the pinned comments. And if you want to join Tom's Army, video description below and or Tom's pinned message below.